Check this out, check this out. This is your boy Lord Vision, and you are now tuned into Chicken Noodle Soup. Let's get it. So yeah, once again, like I said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You are now in the building with Chicken Noodle Soup. And on this channel, we discuss movies, music, and current events. And we put it all in one big soup. You feel me? So before we get going, let me do my famous, world famous. We got a good show for y'all today. So as I get in the mood, I'm gonna do this. I gotta throw my jazz on. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. So, we got a couple of rules and regulations on this channel. First thing I'd like for you to do is hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I appreciate it. It helps me with the algorithms and all that. I'm not begging you to. I'm just asking. You follow me? So yeah, we got a good show for y'all today. We got a good show for y'all today. So if you like what you're hearing, you could always do one of these for your boy. Five. However, if you don't like what you're hearing and you think what I'm saying or what I'm doing is trash bag, you could do this too. Now, I don't want you to do that, but if that's how you feel, I'm not mad at you. Follow me? So let's get into this. So, we got about 15 minutes before it's Valentine's Day. Now, a lot of people are going to go out and buy candy and buy roses, teddy bears, and all that good stuff. And we do this sometimes and we don't even know why we do this. We have no clue. And today, my people, I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to wake you up because we can no longer in 2021 be sheep to the propaganda of these paganist holidays. You know? Now, I know it feels good to go out there and buy your girl something or buy your man something. It feels good. But we need to understand in these days and times why we doing what we doing. And if you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, maybe, just maybe, you should do a little research. And that's where I come in. So, this is something from my man Truth Unedited, and he's breaking down this paganist holiday, holy, or if you want to call it that, day that we know as Valentine's Day. I'm gonna add my commentary, and you guys can tell me what you think. So without further ado, let's get into this. Check this out. Let's do this. Let's go.
I will give you the background history of traditions that many of us blindly accept without really understanding. One of these traditions is Valentine's Day. For most people today, Valentine's Day is just regarded as a secular, commercial day of love. A date where people show their significant other that they love them because someone else did a long time ago.
Right.
And it just grew in acceptance over time. Basically, because days like Valentine's Day just show up on our calendar and the retail big businesses start marketing to us, we just accept this day and look at it as harmless and partake in it. I mean, Valentine's Day is a huge day for business.
It is.
It is estimated that in America alone, the country as a whole spends an average of $18.5 billion on Valentine's Day every year.
18.5 billion would it be dollars on one day. One day, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we really don't even know why we do it, where it came from. We just do it. 1.5 billion. Wrap your mind around that for a sec. Let that marinate.
But if you ask people why, you would most likely receive silence as an answer. Everyone knows that we celebrate love on Valentine's Day, but most people don't know exactly why we do and why it's even called Valentine's Day. So I think that's something that we should correct. Let's examine it. Let's begin.
Let's go.
So where did Valentine's Day come from? Many people think that it's just one of those American holidays that we just partake in. It's just something that we as Americans do. But the celebration of Valentine's Day is not American. Others like to believe that it is a Christian holiday because it was named after a Christian saint.
Did you hear what the brother said? It's not even American. It's not even American. Let's get it.
By the Roman Catholic Church. But the truth is that Valentine's Day was made by the Roman Catholic Church to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia. Lupercalia was one of the most ancient Roman festivals, which was celebrated every year in honor of Lupercus, the god of fertility, also known as the god Faunus. This festival, which celebrated the coming of spring, included fertility rites, orgies, fornication, sex with minors.
You heard that? Orgies, fornication, sex with minors. This is what we celebrating, y'all. This is what we really doing. Know your history. Know your history. Let's get it.
Drunkenness, and other activities like the pairing off of women with men by lottery. Lupercalia was a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, as well as to the founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. During this time, the winter solstice is long gone, and the pagans are now seeing that the days are getting gradually longer. This was one of the most important fertility festivals for pagans. The festival was held on the 15th of February in the Lupercal, where Romulus and Remus were said to have been nurtured by the she-wolf. The place contained an altar and a grove sacred to the god Lupercus. And Lupercal...
I just wanted to stop right there. Nurtured by the she-wolf. What's a wolf? A wolf is, in essence, in the dog, in the canine family. She was nurtured by a wolf. You ever wonder why white folks love dogs so much? They have a very close history with the canines. But that's a story for another day. Let's go.
Luperci, who were the priests, assembled on the day of Lupercalia and sacrificed goats and dogs. These animals were known for their strong sexual instinct, making them most appropriate sacrifices to the god of fertility. Then the Luperci cut thongs from the skins of the sacrificial animals and ran in 2 bands around the Palatine Hill. They would whip any women who came near them. A blow from the...
Did y'all hear that? So they would take the stripe from the animal and whip any woman that came near them. We used to play this game back in the days called Hot Peas and Butter, where you would hide the belt and then somebody, you say hot, you getting cold, and whoever was close to you, you whip them with the belt. And you hoping it's girls, Sound familiar?
Thong was supposed to make a woman fertile. It's said that young women would actually line up for the men to hit them. Now, if you just dig a little deeper, you can understand further what is being celebrated. Lupercalia is believed to be connected to the ancient Greek festival of Arcadian Lycaea and the worship of Pan. Lupercalia is the Roman form of worship of the Greek god Pan. Pan can be traced to the sun god Baal.
Peter Pan, minors, starting to make sense. Put 2 and 2 together, y'all.
He is the horned god. And we know Baal is none other than Nimrod. Nimrod was the original Lupercus. The Lupercalia, the festival of the Romans held during the time we know today as Valentine's Day, was a festival to honor Nimrod, just in this Roman form. This is paganism.
For those who don't understand who Nimrod is, you really need to do your history. Because other than that, it's going to be a mystery to you. Look up who Nimrod was. Similar to Satan. I mean, we can go there. We could do this. But I'm not going to do it for you. You do it for yourself.
In ancient pagan Rome, the month of February was sacred to Juno Februata, the goddess of the fever of love. Juno Februata was also the goddess of women and of marriage. February 14th was her festival day. A box was provided from which single men could draw a billet, a small piece of paper on which a woman's name was written. The couple would then form a temporary liaison for the erotic games to follow. Sometimes they would remain partners for the following 12 months. Marriage sometimes resulted from this practice. So these days were used to celebrate fertility in ancient pagan Rome. It was a pagan festival day that goes back to the honoring of Nimrod. This was what happened during this time in ancient history. So where did the name Valentine's Day come from?
So we'll stop right there for a second. So these games, these sexual exploits and games that they used to play back in these times, right? Do they sound familiar with the games and the craziness that's going on right now in 2021? The same crazy games that these pastors are playing with these kids and these alphabet people are playing with one another. It's nothing new under the sun, people. We got that from somewhere. And so this is important that you understand that these things that we follow, if you don't understand the history and the origins of these things, why do we do them? But I digress.
Valentine's Day is said to be named after a few Christian martyrs who the Roman Catholic Church named saints. According to one story, Roman Emperor Claudius II imposed a ban on marriages because too many young men were dodging the draft by getting married. At that time, only single men had to enter the army. There was a Roman physician and priest who had converted to Christianity when it was a persecuted religion. His name was Valentines of Terni, and according to some of the stories, he used to marry Christian couples in secret.
Valentines attorney. Let that sink in. Where do you think you get these words attorney from? Valentines attorney. Sound familiar, y'all? Let's get it. Let's go.
It was said he wore a ring with a cupid on it, which is used as a symbol of love. We'll cover that soon. The ring helped soldiers recognize him. When he was exposed, he was imprisoned, tortured, and beheaded. Later, he became a martyr and the patron saint of true love in marriages. While awaiting execution, he was visited by young lovers with notes about how much better love is than war. Some think of these love letters as the first Valentines. Valentinus' execution occurred on February 14th in the year 269. Later,
again, bust this. His execution was on February the 14th. Yet, we celebrate love on that day. A man who was executed for marrying people. And he was executed on this day.
Later on, after Rome adopted Christianity and the Roman Empire fell, and the Holy Roman Empire began, the Roman Catholic Church made changes. The church was opposed to this display of open eroticism and sensuality that occurred during Lupercalia. In the 5th century, Pope Gelasius declared February 14th a holy day in honor of Valentinus, instead of the pagan god Lupercus. As with most non-biblical customs found in the church today, Lupercalia was simply given a Christian-sounding name. and adopted into the Universal Catholic Church. They adopted some of the pagan celebrations during Lupercalia to reflect Christian beliefs. For example, as part of the Juno Feberata ritual, instead of pulling girls' names from boxes, both boys and girls chose the names of martyred saints from a box. They were expected to emulate the life of the saint whose name they had drawn.
You heard?
And this is where we get Valentine's Day from. It was a rebranding of a pagan festival worshiping fertility.
We're going to stop right there. It was a rebranding of a pagan festival worshiping fertility. Worshiping fertility. That's interesting. Because we're living in the days and times where when you talk about things like feminine energy, masculine energy, male, female, we have gotten so out of hand. It's ridiculous. And most of these holidays that we celebrate and that we just find to be everything so fascinating, we have no clue. We've been lied to, people. This holiday in particular is structured around murder, death, murder, fornication, crazy sex. But we relate that to love for one another? I don't think so. I ain't gonna get too deep into it. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of insight on where this crazy, crazy holiday came from and give you a little bit of history. So if you like what I've said, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I will be dropping more jewels on you. I'm your boy, Lord Vision, and you are now tuned into Chicken Noodle Soup, and I am out. Peace and blessing to my people. Let's get it.